EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Keep playing. First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Set, yellow lady.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
All day, every day.
This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
On 2nd and 12, Breeze. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a third down.
It's a gain of 5.
Sensational he was last week, over 200 yards, and the simple quote that we saw this week was, keep him in front of us. They're going to have to do that.
And when they say that, it means tackling him after the catch. Because once he makes the catch, you may catch it in front. But if you don't tackle him, he's behind you at that point, and that's how he racks up the big yardage.
Here's Breeze to throw. And brought in by the tight end Cook. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Easy, opposite. Ready, catch.
They do go for it. It's Breeze. And this is incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And the Niners take over in terrific field position.
Check out. Blue 90. Let's go.
A first carry for the former Falcon, Tevin Coleman. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Right back to Coleman here on first down. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
47 Mike, 47 Mike. Army.
On 2nd and 11 now. Luck. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Trent Taylor, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Gold with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they'll be looking to make this a two-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Throwing is Love. Man open, it's Goodwin. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 11 yards there, first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it.
He's got it at the 15. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. A big play there for the Niners. And even 50 yards. So after the big play, look at this. All the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Here's Coleman. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Tevin Coleman with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to get it to his running back, Alvin Kamara. And it's 3rd down.
56. Check.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Well, remember, Tevin Coleman was in the 2-headed backfield in Atlanta during his 4 years there, along with Devontae Freeman. Now he joins a crowded backfield in San Francisco. But in Atlanta, he played under offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan, and then, of course, Shanahan becomes a 49er head coach, and he made it a point to go out and snag his former running back because he really likes his 26-year-old ball carrier. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Wide 40. Stay with your man.
They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. 20. A big play there for the Niners. 46 yards on the ground. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Mike's 47.
On second and goal. Luck toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin, but now it's third and goal.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for third and goal.
47.
Out of the gun, Luck.
Game situation. Let's go.
And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown.
Nice
Andrew
touchdown,
Luck
baby. Keep working.
with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Gotta do better.
They'll run. This is Kamara. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
You're good, you're good. 5-4, ready.
From the 44, Breeze. That'll be complete to Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed it.
Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And some space here. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. Thomas, the intended target. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smiles.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we?
No.
Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Quan Alexander. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in
Season of
December.
giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
It's a party now. It's a party.
Handoff, Coleman, right side. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Tevin Coleman, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally you...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And it's a huge return as he brings this all the way back down to the 15-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field, so play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more, but a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the pass.
Coleman. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field.
47, Mike. 40. Go. 47.
From the gun, here's Locke. He will find his receiver, Pettis, for a 49ers touchdown. Dante Pettis, his 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The Saints on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8.
Here go, 21. Clock, 20 seconds.
Shotgun now for Breeze. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give them a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total.
Hey, check Mike 42.
On 2nd and 12, Luck. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Luck. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout, but let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston, then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. On 1st down, it's Coleman. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. Touchdown, 49ers. Tevin Coleman. Touchdown number 22 on the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That 3rd one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ball game. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
He'll get 15 and a Saints 1st down.
Get that quarterback, D-line.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Throwing on 2nd down. Breeze. He's going to rifle one deep left. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there.
5, 6, 27, 12, 12.
Watch the pass.
12, 12, 12.
Big edge.
5, 6, 5.
This is Coleman. They find some open field here. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 13 yards on the pickup, and it's a second down. That was huge after being behind the chains on first down to make this second very manageable.
Yeah, how much pride do you have in an offense on first down to get that kind of yardage? Because it actually opens up your playbook on second down. You can run it, you can throw it, you keep a defense off balance. I like that phrase, staying ahead of the chains, and they're doing exactly that.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1.
Let's go, Mexico.
They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
Mexico, Mexico.
6-6. Pull it high. Switch.
Hey, check.
Bravo.
5, 6, 6.
They'll fake it. Now Locke. Now he's flushed out left. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now.
Thrown to the sideline and incomplete. It's now 2nd and 10.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Come on. Mike's 47. Hey, Echo. 47. Watch the curl. Watch the curls.
47's a Mike. 47's a Mike. Go.
Hey, check Mike.
12.
Check Mike 47. Here we go.
Here's Locke. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Intended for Trent Taylor. Incomplete. It's 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of a key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here.
Hey, alert 3.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he's got room. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On third down, here's Coleman. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
First down, San Francisco.
Blue 40.
All day, baby, all day.
They'll run on first down. Coleman. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 48-yard line.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
You remember me? Let's go, baby.
They'll try the air now with Locke. They'll roll him out right. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Drop deep, drop deep. 47's the mic. 40.
40, easy.
From the gun, it's a handoff to Coleman. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
And a 49er first down.
Let's go. 674.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
Here's Mostert. Demario Davis there on the stop.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
38-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Check, 47. Let's go, D.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. There he goes left side. Touchdown, 49ers. Tevin Coleman with touchdown number 23 here on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Gold with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And give him 9 yards on the 2nd down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches.
Kill.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. Now Breeze on the bootleg. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Toss play, Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16.
Just like that.
From the gun, it's Freeze. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They will run again with Coleman. A.J. Klein on the tackle there.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Niners on 3rd down. Can't be any better than a perfect 6 for 6. This time it's 3rd and 3. To throw is Lott. Goodwin able to haul it in. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
Check out. Right, 622. Mike 47.
Got you.
Alert. Back. Ready to catch.
On 1st down, it's Coleman, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They'll keep it on the ground. Coleman. And some room to roam now. And across the chalk into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Tevin Coleman with another touchdown, number 24 on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Once again, they'll go for the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. Now, they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. Actually, I've heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field.
And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 18, and they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Shane Ray in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. A big play there out of Kamara, 65 yards.
Well, sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big third down conversion. And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. On second down, Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
On third and long, it's Breeze. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A rough go there on third down, a loss of 4. On fourth down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker, Will Lutz, for the field goal attempt. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The kick by Lutz is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg. And they're at least trying to finish out strong.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
At their own 23-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Line 40!
Check line 47. Push him back. Push him back.
We're rolling.
On third down, it's Coleman, and he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. He went backwards 5 yards there on third down to bring up fourth.
Today's final score, Niners 66.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for San Francisco, the win moves them to 12-1 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they can ill afford to drop too many more as they fall to 7-6 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.